What's going on YouTube? John here. Welcome to the video. PhoenixBusinessAcademy.net. John at PhoenixBusinessAcademy.net. Check out the website. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or need any sales training or business development or personal development needs. Today's video is going to build upon our objection handling series. So the first objection was price objection. We talked about different strategies on how to overcome certain price objections or the price objection when it comes up in the sales process, and that's inevitable. It will always come up for the most part. Every now and then you catch lightning in a bottle and you'll present to the client and you'll propose the price and they sign on the dotted line and you can go home happy. But today's video is going to talk about another objection, the I want to think about it, or I need to think about it objection. This is an objection that comes up a lot. Sometimes they do need to think about it. Sometimes it's a stalling tactic. Sometimes they're just unsure. And if they're unsure, your job as a sales professional is to find out what they're unsure about and make them feel better about it. So, you're done presenting to the client and the client says, I need to think about it. The first thing to really try to understand is, do they need to think about it? And here's a great strategy on uncovering or trying to uncover this potential objection early on in the process. So when I present to a client, I always ask, when are you looking to make a decision? That's giving me an idea of the timeline. If they say in 3 months, I know that I'm not closing this deal right now. And for me to try and do that would be like fitting a square peg into a round hole. It just won't make sense if they're telling you they're 3 months out. Does your budget allow it? That does two things. Well, our budget doesn't reset until the next quarter. Well, now I know I can't sell anything until the next quarter because their budget doesn't allow it. That does two things. One, it gets rid of the price objection because, it helps uncover the price objection because you know that the money is not there for them. And two, it gives me an idea of if they're allowed to spend it or are willing to spend it now or can spend it now versus waiting for their budget to move forward, or if they say, I'm going to wait for my if you're doing business to consumer, I'm going to wait for my bonus to come in. Oh, when do you typically get your bonus? It's May right now. So if they say July, yeah, I know that they're probably looking more for July. So those are a couple of things you can do early on in the process to really try and uncover some of these things. So they say they want to think about it. So the first thing to understand is maybe they do really need to think about it. The second thing to do is to ask, what is it that you need to think about? And you're not asking to try and sell them, but you're really asking to try and understand what's going on in their mind. And you're done presenting, client says, I need to think about it. The first thing I always say is, completely understand, absolutely. Listen, I want you to think about it because when you come back to making the decision and you decide to go with me, I know that you'll have made the right decision and you know that you'll have made the right decision, and that just makes for a better relationship. That's no pressure. That's easy. There's no pressure. Hey, I want you to think about it. It would be silly for you not to think about it. You're making a decision. Another good question to ask is, have you looked at anything else or have you looked at anyone else? This is good to find out, A, who your competition is, B, how much research have they done? And then another follow-up question to that is, what are you looking to accomplish with buying X, Y, or Z? This gives you the reason, or this gives you insight into their motivation as to why they picked up the phone and called you, or as to why they submitted an inquiry, or why they shot you an email, or why they're looking to buy something. So in my case, I sell fleet management solutions. I always ask, have you looked at anyone else? Yeah, we looked at this guy and we looked at this guy. Great. Tell me the reasons that you've decided to look for this solution. Well, we've had a lot of accidents, or we've had a lot of inefficiencies in the drivers or the routes, or we've had theft, or we've had etc. Now I can quantify why my solution cost what it cost and how that's going to give them a return on their investment. If they have employee theft, a great question to ask is, what what amount of revenue or profit do you think you're losing based on employee theft? If they say anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month, well, now we know by using X, Y, and Z solution, we can not only save you in these ways, but your employee theft will go down. We're putting $4,000 back in your pocket. So these are ways. This is also some type of price objection in there because you're reasoning with ROI and things like that. But now we're also building a case as to why they would want to wait to think about it, because the longer they wait, they're going to have more theft, right? So these are things that you want to do through the sales process, okay? But if they say, I really just need to think about it, okay, fine, no problem. I want you to think about it. I think it's a great idea. Again, when you think about it and you come back to decide to go with us, I know and you'll know that it was the right decision, okay? There's no pressure. But just out of curiosity, can I ask you, what would you be thinking about the most, right? What are the things that are concerning you right now that you would need to think about? This is a straightforward question. I'm not dancing around the subject. Hey, I did my job. I presented a product to you. I showed you a solution. I added value and show you what you can do for you. I just want to be clear because I don't want to bother you, tomorrow or the next day if you're truly thinking about it. But just so I understand, what is it that you would be thinking about the most? If they say price, then it's the price. Now you can go and talk about that. If they say, well, we're not sure it's the right fit for the fleet. Okay, well, what would make you think that? And now you can find that out and you can direct them towards why it would be the right fit. And guys, by the way, if they think about it, then you think about it. But if they're giving you answers like this may not be the right fit, and then you try and show them that it's the right fit, but it really isn't, then it isn't, right? Just walk away and just save everyone a lot of headache and trouble, right? But if you get the feeling that they're stalling or something isn't right, you want to ask these questions. So if they say, we're just not sure it's the right fit, or we have to figure out how to roll it out, understand, listen, my company does projects like this all the time, and we actually specialize in helping companies roll this out to their fleet or to their people or to whatever it is that you're selling. So let me ask you a question, because I don't want to be an annoying salesperson. I understand you to think about it. I'm going to send you an email recapping what we discussed and the proposal. If there are any questions that you think of after this presentation is over, feel free to shoot me an email, text me, give me a call, whatever. I'm available. People like when salespeople are available to them. Why? Because it indicates that you're working for them and you're not just trying to make a sale. I'm available for you. Hey, you're my client, you're my potential client, and I'm available to do whatever it is you need me to do so I can earn your business. That sounds cliche and it sounds cheesy, but you just want to say, hey, pick up the phone, shoot me a text. It doesn't matter what time of day. I usually respond to my texts pretty quickly. And then what would be a good time for me to follow up with you? I don't want to, if you're thinking about it, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to pressure you. You tell me the best time to follow up, and I'll give you a call and see if there's any questions that come up, and we'll see where you're at. This is no pressure. This is basically giving them control of the process. I understand you think about it. Just remember we spoke about X, Y, and Z. I'm going to recap all that in an email, and then you write an email professionally, and you recap all the things you spoke about, your ROI, or return on investment proposition, what's unique about you and the company, how you can help them roll out this solution or this product or whatever it is that you're selling. And then when they say, okay, so today's Tuesday, why don't you give me a call? Today is, today's the 4th. So then you can say to them, okay, it's May 4th. When should I give you a call? Why don't you give me a call on the 13th? Great. Does any specific time work for you? Yeah, usually 9 o'clock. Okay, great. And what do you think you do after that? Send a calendar invite and a reminder. Why? Because it locks them in and commits them to that phone call. Listen, buyers and people that are in the market for something, there's lost all tactics, because salespeople traditionally in the past have been known, if you believe it or not, to tell people lies, to cheat them, to pull the wool over their eyes, to force them to close, to be high pressure. That's not what we're about, right? And that's not what I preach and teach to my people, or to anyone that really would listen to me. I preach no pressure, really easy and simple. We can do X, Y, and Z. You're looking for X, Y, and Z. Great, that matches up. Oh, okay, you said you need to think about it. Great. I'm going to call you on the 13th at 9 o'clock, like you said. Just keep a lookout for my email, recapping everything we spoke about, and then I'll send you an invite for the 13th. This way we have it on our calendars and we can connect again. Boom, done. Really simple, easy. It's not rocket science. There's no need to force people to close. It doesn't work that way anymore, man, because people are instant experts. And what that means is, before they've even come into you, most likely they've Googled or researched you and 3 other competitors, and they kind of have an idea of what they want, and they're just thinking about it. Maybe it's a product they haven't implemented into their lives or their business yet, and so they're looking for it, and they're just kind of getting all the information to see what works best. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, as buyers, we do the same thing when we're out in a store. We're going to buy a TV. We know what we want. We've researched stuff. It doesn't stop us from letting the Best Buy guy talk to us about what TV is better. That's just the way it is. We already know some background information on what we're looking to buy, and your customer's no different. They have background information on what they're looking for. It's your job as a salesperson to uncover what it is they're looking for, uncover the objections early by asking simple questions like, what's your budget? What's your timeline? When are you looking to move forward with this? These are all questions that you should do during the discovery process of the call. And if you're not doing a discovery process during your presentation, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You can't just show up and go, oh, you're looking for a car? Let me show you this car. It does this, 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 and this. Oh, you're looking for this? It does this, 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 and this. It's not how it works anymore. It's not how it works anymore. You need to be more consultative in your approach. You need to ask the right questions. What's your budget look like? Are you guys budgetized for this? Yes or no? If they say no, we have to present it to the higher ups to get approval. Well, then you know how to pivot from there. If they say, oh yeah, that's not a problem, when are you looking to move forward? As soon as possible. Great. Now we know we can do the rest of the presentation and go for the close, or go for it quickly. If they're not looking to make a decision, oh, we're going to make a decision when the budget is reset in the next quarter. Great. Then you know you're probably doing an information session and a discovery session, and you're going to send the information with follow-up after that. So these are great questions to ask, but that's how I would handle the I want to think about it close. I think the best questions are asked up front to kind of get an idea of where you're going in this process, and then at the end, if they need to think about it, okay, no problem, completely understand. I want you to think about it. That would make the most sense, since this is a rather large investment for you and the company. I want you to make the right decision for your business, because if you don't make the right decision, then it's no good for anyone. It's not good for you, it's not good for me, and we don't want that. So is it a good time to give you a call next week, or you tell me what's the best time to follow up with you? Boom, boom, great. Good. I'm going to send you a recap of everything we spoke about. Just remember, if you come up with any other questions, you have anything else that you want to know, you can always give me a call or shoot me a text or an email, and I usually respond to that pretty quickly. And then finally, just help me understand what it is that you'd be thinking about. If it's price, then you can go into a price handling objection. Okay, what is it about the price? Is it the upfront capital investment? Is it the monthly fee? Is it too much? And these are things now, as a salesperson, you have to figure out, can I come off the price a little bit to close this deal now? Right? And that would go bringing you into another question of, okay, it's $500. Well, that's typically our price to our customers. What what about that doesn't work? Well, the budget we have here is $475. Okay, well, listen, sometimes we have some wiggle room, but let me ask you a question. If the price was $475 today, would you purchase today? If they say no, then it really is they need to think about it. If they say yes, then hey, now you're on the hook to try and get a discount. Maybe you don't go $475, maybe you do something else. These are just broad stroke general examples. But that's the final question. Just what is it that you would be thinking about the most? Well, you know, there's a sales trainer out there, Steve Richards. I don't necessarily agree with all of his strategies and his tactics, but a great question he does for the I Want to Think About It is, what is it that you want to think about? And if they tell you, then he goes into, let me tell you what most customers tell me they want to think about. It's either the price, the product, or boom. And by doing this, and I'm not really fond of his delivery, because I think he's a little too high pressure. And even that question to me is a little too high pressure, but it is a good question. What is it that you are going to think about after we get off the phone? This helps you understand, again, their mindset, what they're going through, what they're going to think about. And then by him saying, most of my customers think about three things: the money, the business, the company, and the product. It's a little outdated in the car sales world. That's what he teaches. But would there be any reason that you wouldn't purchase from the company? No. Would there be any reason you wouldn't purchase from me personally? Right? No. Is there any reason you wouldn't purchase because of the money? If they say no, then there's obviously something else. But if they say yes, then you've uncovered the objection. So it's just another way to uncover the objection. But those are my tips. I will try and edit this so you can actually see the questions. I'm not the best editor, if you can tell from my previous videos. I'm really not good at editing, but hey, listen, can't be the best at everything at all times, I guess. Anyway, that's today's video. I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully you got some value out of this. John at phoenixbusinessacademy.net. phoenixbusinessacademy.net is the website, and if you need anything, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this video, and let me know what questions you ask when a customer says, I want to think about it. All right, that's it for today's video. We're going to wrap it up, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.